During World War II, the US Navy discovered what they thought was a second ocean floor, and it moved. There is an animal 150 feet long made entirely of clones with no brain that hunts by dragging a curtain of paralyzing tentacles through the dark. And there is something in the ocean that has been making the exact same sound every single spring and autumn for 35 consecutive years, and we don't know what it is. Today we're going through 10 reasons the ocean gets worse the more you know about it. Let's get into it. During World War II, the US Navy was using sonar to map the ocean floor when they kept getting a strange reading. A second floor, sitting between 300 and 500 meters down. Solid enough to bounce sonar off, except it moved. It rose toward the surface every night and it sank back down every morning. For years, nobody could explain it. It turned out to be the Deep Scattering Layer, a band of billions of creatures, fish, squid, and krill performing a synchronized vertical migration every single day. They rise at night to feed near the surface and they sink back down into the dark at dawn. The largest migration on Earth, happening every single day in total darkness across every ocean on the planet. And the US Navy discovered it because sonar kept bouncing off it like solid ground. Apparently, the ocean didn't feel the need to tell us. The largest waterfall on Earth is not Niagara. It's not Angel Falls. It's not visible from any shore, any boat, or any satellite image. It is underwater, between Greenland and Iceland in the Denmark Strait. Cold, dense water from the Arctic meets warmer Atlantic water and plunges downward, 11,500 feet straight down. Angel Falls, the tallest waterfall on land, is 3,212 feet. The Denmark Strait Cataract is 3.5 times taller. It carries 5 million cubic meters of water per second. It has been doing this continuously for thousands of years. Nobody talks about it because you can't see it. The largest waterfall on Earth is at the bottom of the ocean. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it does. In certain parts of the Gulf of Mexico and the Red Sea, there are lakes on the ocean floor. Actual lakes with shorelines, waves, and currents sitting underwater inside the ocean. Brine pools form when ancient salt deposits dissolve and create water so dense and salty it sinks and stays separate from everything around it. The brine is 3 to 8 times saltier than seawater. Most creatures that swim into a brine pool die almost immediately. The salt draws the moisture out of living tissue. The pools have their own ecosystem of extremophile bacteria around their edges. There are lakes inside the ocean, and most things that touch them die. This is a real place. These are real lakes, and they are sitting on the bottom of a body of water you already found alarming. The longest animal on Earth is not the blue whale. It is a Siphonophore, and here is where it gets really strange. A Siphonophore is not technically one animal. It is a colonial organism made entirely of clones, individual units called zooids, each one genetically identical, each one performing a different function. Some zooids swim, some digest, some reproduce, some are weapons, clusters of stinging cells that paralyze prey on contact. The whole structure can reach 150 feet in length. In 2020, a research vessel off the coast of Western Australia filmed one in its full extended form, and it was the longest animal ever recorded. It has no brain, no central nervous system. It is 150 feet of clones drifting through the dark, trailing a curtain of paralyzing tentacles, and when something swims into them, it stops. When a whale dies and sinks to the sea floor, a creature called the Osedax worm finds it. Osedax has no mouth, no stomach. It dissolves whale bone by secreting acid directly from its skin, then absorbs the nutrients through root-like structures drilled into the bone. The females anchor themselves in and never leave. And inside the body of each female, not near her, inside her, live between 50 and 100 microscopic males, permanently. Their entire existence is to fertilize eggs. They live their whole lives inside a female's body, inside a whale's bone at the bottom of the ocean. Scientists discovered them in 2002. Prior to that, whale bones on the sea floor appeared bare and clean, and nobody understood why. The ocean had been dissolving whale skeletons with acid worms the entire time, and we just, I guess, weren't looking for that because Why would we have been? Sailors have been reporting this for over 400 years. Patches of ocean that glow white. Not flickering, not flashing, a steady continuous white glow covering areas sometimes hundreds of square kilometers wide. Jules Verne described it. Herman Melville described it. In 2005, scientists photographed one from space for the first time. A glowing patch off the coast of Somalia, 15,400 square kilometers of continuously glowing ocean. It was caused by bioluminescent bacteria blooming on the surface of algae. But a 2025 study confirmed that the full mechanism, why billions of bacteria activate simultaneously, why the glow persists for weeks, why some Milky Seas are larger than countries, is still not fully understood. There have been at least 235 documented cases since 1915. There is a phenomenon that turns the ocean white and glows for weeks at a time, and we know roughly what causes it, but we don't fully understand how. I guess the ocean decided that being enormous and dark wasn't enough. NOAA has a network of underwater microphones that listens to the ocean continuously. In 1997, they recorded a sound called Julia, 15 seconds long, loud enough to be detected across the entire Pacific Ocean. Source unknown. In 1997, they also recorded Slow Down, a sound that descended in frequency over 7 minutes and was detected across thousands of miles. Source still unconfirmed. And then there is Upsweep. Upsweep has been recorded continuously since 1991. It rises in amplitude every spring and it falls every autumn. Every year, like clockwork, for 35 consecutive years. After 35 years of recordings, its origin has never been explained. Something in the ocean has been making the same seasonal sound since 1991. It was doing it before I was born. It's doing it right now. We don't even know what it is. 8,000 years ago, a section of the Norwegian continental shelf, 290 kilometers of seafloor, collapsed into the ocean. 3,500 cubic kilometers of sediment slid into the deep. The resulting tsunami struck the coasts of Norway, Iceland, and Britain, with waves estimated to be 20 meters high. Researchers estimate that a quarter of Britain's entire population at the time was killed in an afternoon. The most likely trigger, destabilized methane hydrates. Methane hydrates are frozen methane deposits buried in the seafloor along the world's continental shelves. When they warm, the methane releases, the sediment destabilizes, and the shelf can collapse. The methane hydrates currently sitting on the world's seafloor contain more carbon than all known fossil fuel reserves combined. Scientists call them the sleeping giant. The Storegga Slide happened once. The conditions that caused it are changing. Isn't history so fun? This one sucks. When researchers sent unmanned vehicles to Challenger Deep, the deepest point on Earth at 10,935 meters, they found microplastics. Not traces, not residue, between 2 and 13 pieces of microplastic per liter of water at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. The concentration is higher in the Haddle Zone than in the open ocean above it. Microplastics sink. They accumulate. The deepest, most remote, most inaccessible place on the planet has more plastic in it than the water above. Human garbage didn't just reach the bottom, it concentrated there. When researchers sent vehicles to the deepest place on Earth, first man-made thing they found was our trash. In 2025 and 2026, the Ocean Census, the largest coordinated marine life survey ever conducted, announced that scientists had discovered 1,121 new species in a single year. Among them was a carnivorous sponge that forms a ball around its prey, a shrimp living inside a sulfur cave, an organism found at 9,100 meters that scientists cannot classify into any known category of life. These are the things we found while actually looking. The Siphonophore, remember that? The longest animal on Earth, wasn't filmed in full form until 2020. The giant squid wasn't photographed alive until 2004. These are bus-sized animals found recently in the parts of the ocean we have actually visited. 80% of the ocean floor has never been mapped at high resolution. Most of the deep has never even been seen. We have no idea what is down there. The ocean is mostly dark, cold, and full of things that have never been seen, making sounds that haven't been explained, running processes that could end coastal civilizations. We call it our planet, but we have barely met it. All right, guys, that was our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. That was just like a little bit of nightmare fuel for you. I've been your host today, Libby Kozlowski, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.